Hey guys, it's Matt from Midnight Farms. Just taking a break from planting. It's 11:30 here. I'm in Tennessee, Camden, Tennessee. Hence the name Midnight Farms. That's when a lot of my work gets done. Is when everybody else is going to bed or already asleep. I'll probably be out here, potting and planting and dividing and so on and so on. At least till probably 3, maybe 4 a.m. But what I wanted to show you was, again, I'm taking a break from potting, and I've got some cucumber pots, fixing to be filled. I've got several more over there that I've already done. But now I wanted to show you a couple of other plants that I've got out here. I tell a lot of people, coleus is, in my opinion, one of the hardest plants to kill. Now, of course, you can kill it if you really, really try. Pour alcohol on it, gasoline, that's going to do it. But if it's just negligence, not watering the plant or overwatering the plant, just simple mistakes that you can make, coleus are pretty hardy, and they're not going to die off without you really, really trying. So I'm going to show you some of mine. Now this is the coleus. I sold a couple of these the other day. I don't have many, just these 2 here. I will get more though. But you can drown them. You can prune them to death nearly, and they just continually come back. I've already watered this one, but this one I actually took yesterday to the meet to kind of illustrate that point to people. This is my Brit's coleus. It's actually one of my favorite coleuses, and this is another one. This was a cutting probably taken from this plant, but I had taken one that had been watered regularly, and one that hadn't. Specifically, this one. Of course, it was dry. You could squeeze the cup and hear the soil kind of crunch and stuff. No signs of wilt. Now, heat will make one look wilted if it doesn't have water. But again, they're really, really, they bounce back really quickly. You go out there, you give it some water, 15 minutes later, it's a nice, big, full plant again. But yeah, so you can drown them. Like I said, I've had them just sitting in water before. No dirt, and they've been perfectly fine. I do want to show you real quick, though. Coleus is known for its huge leaves, and they are big. I mean, that's... a leaf fits in the palm of my hand and even outlies it over or falls out over the side some. But my Brit's coleus, while it's a more narrow leaf, it's just as big. It just happens to be a longer, more narrow leaf. And it's got the kind of paint splattery red in it, which is really cool. But back to the not killing a coleus. I did this last year as an illustration, and I thought, what the heck, I'll do it again this year. So these are some of my Brit's coleus leaves. Now these were small leaves when I put them in here. And you can see, this one is bigger than any of the coleus. This is just a large-sized Benadryl bottle. Comes with 365. Y'all do not want to know how many of these I take in a month. That's I feel like God's irony on me to make me someone that loves outside and plants as much as I do, and have a screwed up system where I can't moderate heat correctly, so it's hard for me to be outside for any serious length of time. Again, why I do things at night. And I love plants, so I basically have to live off of some sort of allergy medicine all the time. Again, love God, but he's definitely got some irony. Actually, you know what? The way I look at it too is I'm not getting into some sort of religious spat or tirade. But when something's difficult to do, of course, that makes it more worth it, I think, if you can actually do something with it. But when it's more difficult to do and you still do it anyways, that just, it's almost like God's test. And I avoided, plants and doing this kind of stuff, even though I really loved it for such a long time. Some of you don't know, I was a Domino's pizza franchisee back in the day. And, it's a much faster pace of life. Gardening is a much slower pace of life. But I love Domino's. I love making pizza. I love the people. I loved marketing. That was fun. And of course I loved the big paychecks. But other things happened, and here I am now, and I'm doing plants, and I love this. I wish I had done it so long ago. But again, sometimes things are difficult for you to do, or they feel difficult for you to do. But when you do them anyways, the reward is that much sweeter. It shows your dedication to something. If if something causes you to, sometimes even hurt doing it, it can show how bad you actually want it. So anyway, so back to the plants. So I just stuck some leaves in water, and they rooted. It's not developing a whole nother plant. I've never actually had one do that from a leaf, but the leaf, itself, a lot of rooting hormone in a plant is situated at the leaf nodes, where the leaves come out of the main trunk or the main stem. But again, with coleus, it's super, super, super hardy. A leaf, I can't even I can kill a leaf, but the leaf itself, struggles to stay alive. So again, like I said, there's 3 leaves in there. Let's see if it'll focus. There we go. They're healthy leaves, good healthy leaves. Or I'm sorry, good healthy roots. But the leaves just keep getting bigger. There's no plant to grow. It's just, so it's putting all of its energy, into just making the leaf bigger. I also wanted to show, when I talk about people, everybody has room to grow somewhere. You can turn anything into a pot. I had mentioned this K-cup tomato plant on one of my other videos, and I just wanted to actually show you that, it really does exist. This is, it's from a cutting I took from another plant back in maybe mid-March. So it's grown a lot. I don't have any drain holes poked in this cup because it doesn't need it. I'll water it 2 or 3 times a day. Yes, it does take a little bit more care because it does dry out quickly. But this will put out tomatoes. When it starts putting out this top branch here, this first spot here, that will be where the first flowers come from. So, but again, this is from a sucker from another plant. A sucker is the same age as the plant that you took it from. So if you take it from that, after the stress wears off, if you just stick it in the ground, it'll grow into a new plant. But after the stress wears off, it's basically the same age as the plant that it came from, and it'll put out tomatoes pretty close to the same time the other one, or at least flowers. I've grown these in the bottom of 20-ounce bottles, cherry tomatoes mainly. This is actually a beefsteak tomato. So it's going to, of course, need protection whenever it starts actually developing tomatoes, or the whole thing's going to tip over. But, yeah, you can grow anything anywhere. I've grown tomatoes in wood chip piles. Lots of people have grown, pumpkins in compost piles and wood chip piles. A lot of stuff can be grown in media that you already have around you. Cups. Heck, McDonald's cups, plastic cups. Cardboard cups are a little bit more difficult to deal with, like fast food cardboard cups, just because when they get wet, they, after a certain length of time, they'll start to tear apart. But, you can grow food for sure, in this kind of stuff. Or, lots of pretties here, like my brilliant red coleus, or celosia, coxcomb. He's decided he wanted to point the other direction there, but it's just because I took him out and hadn't potted him up yet. So he actually, he was laying on his side and started reaching up for the sun. He'll straighten back out though. But there's plenty of room to grow, people. If you've got, anything at all, you can get some dirt in your yard, throw it in there. You'll probably have some grass come up in it too. Just pluck them out like you're weeding it. But you can grow anything, anywhere, as long as you have, some water, some sun, and a seed. The rest is already there. So, anyways, that's the end of my whatever this was. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you learned something. If you did, you like what you saw, subscribe to the channel if you want. Click a like on the video because that always helps. And, leave a comment. It's nice talking to people. Seems like the only one I ever talked to is Aaliyah. Hi, Aaliyah. She's one of my customers from Paris. And, but yeah, anyways, I'm out of here. Got to get back to work. It doesn't do itself. Take it easy, guys.